What's up, guys? Welcome back to In the Pressbox, episode 76. My name is Benjamin. You guys are?
I'm Aiden. Howdy, howdy, howdy. It's Alec.
All right. Well, let's get started. No music this week. That's kind of not a great start, but that's okay. All right. Let's talk about what we're talking about today. We're going to talk about this week's headlines in sports. That's kind of a new segment. The NBA and NHL will preview the Stanley Cup and the NBA Finals. Those are set. College Football 25 will do the top seven. We'll reveal those, and then we'll round out with predictions, which I did terrible at last week. Um, all right, let's talk about this week's headline in sports. But before that, Alex, what are you gonna say?
Speaking of predictions, since I was fixing to do it, I was kind of halfway done, and then we started earlier, but they will be done right after this podcast and before this podcast is uploaded for y'all guys.
I'm uploading this video. I'm uploading this podcast probably right after we get finished.
Uh-oh. Internet. Is our internet out?
No.
Is that Benjamin?
I think I froze. Oh no, shoot! Now I see you guys, but it's
Yeah,
like,
you froze.
Yeah, you froze.
am I still frozen?
No. Very blurry quality.
Yeah, there's no Wi-Fi in here, and the bar is like literally one. Should I
Alright, I got
should I should I just call?
No, let's play on.
All right, play on it is. All right, what are you gonna say there, Alex? Or what did you say?
I said the predictions will be uploaded. We don't have it as of the time of recording, but by the time it's uploaded, it will be out.
And I'm
Awesome.
uploading the podcast after we record.
Awesome. All right, new
That's
early
awesome.
weekly uploads. We respect it, Aiden. All right. This week's
Official.
headline in sports. The NBA Finals and the Stanley Cup begin. The French Open enters its final week. The College World Series continues in its Super Regionals. Real Madrid win the Champions League. That was last week. They win it again. That's their 15th time. Kylian Mbappe signs for Real Madrid. That's kind of the biggest signing in a very long time in soccer. And then Justin Jefferson kind of flew under the radar this morning. He agreed to a 4-year, $140 million contract extension with the Vikings. What do you guys think about Justin Jefferson agreeing to that extension? Personally, I'm very surprised by that. I kind of thought he was not going to do that. And
He's money hungry.
I don't know if I
Agree.
like that. I don't know if I like that for him. Yeah, he's money hungry, but I don't like that at all because he doesn't know who's going to be throwing him the ball. I mean, I don't know that whole deal. I don't like that deal for honestly either side. I guess maybe for Justin in terms of the money part, but I don't like it at all for the Vikings. I think that's an overpay. You really should, I think at this point, just trade him. That's my opinion. So I don't know. We'll
Yeah,
have
I
to
would
see.
agree. I would agree. I think it's more of the team, the Viking itself, than Justin Jefferson. Obviously, if he got the money, then that's where he's going to be signing and that extension. But for the team itself, I don't know. They probably did make a bad decision. We don't know who is going to be the quarterback, and we also don't know how he will perform himself. So for Justin Jefferson, great move, good for him. But for the team, it's going to be bad for the long run.
And because a lot of money to other teams too. People are gonna wanting like
They're going to be jealous, like AJ Brown.
yeah. I mean
Wanting to
the
be that.
market, the price for wide receivers is already really high. So now it's gonna get to the point where it's almost right behind quarterbacks.
Because he's also the highest paid non-quarterback in history now. So
I did not know that. That's a great stat right there. I mean, I think Minnesota knew that eventually they were just going to have to pay him, and make him the highest paid. But I agree exactly with like what you guys have been saying. I mean, I think at this point you just needed to trade him, uh, and get a haul for him because some team right now I know is going to give up an insane probably overpay for him, especially if they're desperate. But 4 years down the line. I don't know. And also, I think it was 110 million guaranteed too. That's awfully high guaranteed. So I don't know. I don't like that at all for the Vikings, and I really don't like it for him either, for Jefferson either, in terms of the competitiveness. And I don't think that team's going to be competitive anytime soon. But at least he gets the big payday.
and it's a
Should we
big
move
trend
on?
too.
What are you gonna say?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say it's a big trend too because it looks like every offseason there's always a new highest paid receiver, so it's only going up and up for what the receivers are asking.
Ooh, this is a good question. I think you're right about that. Now that makes me think, who would be like the next highest paid, like the next one? Maybe like CeeDee Lamb or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Alex, what do you think?
Yeah, you're right. He's $110 million guaranteed into the 2028 season. He's a guaranteed money, 110 million. Who do you think is second?
Oh, with what, guaranteed money or like paid like receiver wise?
Guaranteed money for wide receivers.
Um, Debo Samuel.
AJ Brown with 84 million.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's a big gap between
That's
him
a
and
that's a massive gap. Wow. Wow. Yeah, but Aiden, who do you got? Okay, so I said CeeDee Lamb. I think it's
I'm
going to be
Steve
CeeDee
Young.
Lamb. I think we'd all agree.
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb, probably the Cowboys going to try to do all
You know
that
Jerry
stuff.
Jones is going to be insane overpay. It'll be ridiculous. All right.
Yeah. I
Let's
could see
move
Jalen
on.
Hurt.
Or what about how much? Ooh, wait, Alex, look this up while I move on. Can someone look up how much money did the Titans guarantee Calvin Ridley? Just for comparison, because I think it was awfully high. All right, let's move on to the NBA Finals while you guys look that up. All right, so we got
50
the
million.
Celtics.
So,
What?
50 million.
50. Wow, wow. So Jefferson makes double. I guess that's kind of warranted though. All right, so we have Mavericks and the Celtics in the NBA Finals. What do you guys think each team need to do to win the finals this year? For the Celtics, I think they got to win game one. They can't get off to a slow start. And then for the Mavericks, I would say that they need Kyrie and Luka to be dropping at least 20 plus every game. What do you guys think?
Wait, first, have y'all seen the memes of the Grant Williams?
Mm-mm.
You know who Grant Williams is?
I do. Like the Tennessee player, right? Who used to
Yeah,
be on the Celtics
he
and
played
the
for the
Mavs.
Celtics for like 2 years, and then played for the Mavericks for like a year, and he got
Where
traded like
where
this year.
where is he?
He's on the Hornets.
Oh man. Oh man.
So
Imagine that, man.
yeah, but the Mavericks win. I'm assuming they're gonna give him a ring because he was on more than half the year. But
Oh,
yeah,
because he was there this year? That's
yeah,
right. That's right. Yes, and then he got traded like mid-season. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
yeah.
Um,
So I think you're exactly right for the Mavericks. The guys that big Kyrie and Luca, they're gonna have to get points. Like Kyrie's gonna have to get like 25 points, Luca getting 35 points, and then the guys around them, like when Kyrie and Luca are not out there, the other guys are gonna have to step up. And same thing with the Celtics. Brown and Tatum, they're not the only guys that can do things. Brown, real smart, but needs to be smart on the court. They haven't really proved themselves because they played a bunch of injured teams, and I think we said last week who was going to be the favorites, and it's still the Mavericks, I believe, right? I think Mavericks are, yeah.
yeah, I
So
don't know
yeah,
what the betting favorites are, but personally, probably honestly, if it's like the media and stuff, I bet you the betting favorites are the Celtics, but I think all of us would agree. In our opinion, it's got to be the Mavericks, just because I don't think any of us trust the Celtics really on this one. Aiden, what do you think the Celtics need to do to win?
they need to be more consistent, obviously. They've been playing really well. Like they swept the who do they play against? The Pacers. I didn't watch that series, but I don't think anyone really did unless you're a Celtics or Pacers fan because they all knew how I was going to go. But anyway, the Celtics they've been consistent, but when it comes down to the more better teams in the playoffs, like the Mavericks, they don't really do good. Now the Pacers, I'm not saying they're a bad team,
they were injured.
but they're mostly injured. That's correct, and also the teams that, like Alex was saying, they've been playing injured teams. Meanwhile, the Mavericks, they have been playing elite teams. And I thought the Timberwolves looking really, really good. Anthony Edwards becoming a star in the playoffs. I mean, no one was talking about him in the regular season as much as they're doing now. I mean, he's got Adidas ads and everything. I'm not no glazing stuff, but I'm just saying they looked hot. But guess what? The Dallas Mavericks proved why they are really, really good in the playoffs, and they just won in 5 games, and it was almost 4 games, but luckily the Mavericks pulled it out there, but they still won in 5. So I think the Celtics, they need to be prepared on how to face hot teams in the playoffs, and that's something they haven't proved yet. So I think as long as they're there and if they're able to do that, then I think they could successfully pull it off.
That's such a good breakdown. Alex, what do you think?
This is about Anthony Edwards. Do you believe that Anthony Edwards is a top 3 dunker in the NBA, and if so, who are?
Dunker.
Hmm
Ooh, that's actually kind of a tough question. I think okay. I think we have to put John Morant on there. John Morant he's got to be a top three dunker. I know
And
that.
Stephen Curry. And Stephen Curry.
And Stephen. You could also make an argument for LeBron.
What?
Now, in hold on, I'm talking about like in the past. In the past, okay? Could have made an argument for LeBron, not anymore because he's, obviously way older. I don't really know. I mean, I would say Anthony Edwards. He's had some pretty like highlight reel dunks. And doesn't he even have like the dunk of the year? Who has the dunk of the year? It was some like random guy on like the Pistons or the Hornets or something. But I would say yes, Anthony Edwards
Yeah.
is a top three dunker.
Yeah, he catches a lot of body and gets a lot of bodies up in the air. And I feel like it's good, like really good.
Okay,
What?
Alex? Who's the
There's
top?
like a
Who?
particular
No,
athlete.
no, it's just okay. Who's the top three dunkers in your opinion? I think John
Jaw,
Morant's on there, right?
Jaw, gee, Jaw, Anthony Edwards. You can throw in Zion. You can throw in
Oh yeah,
what's it called? Zach Levine.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I could see that.
hmm
I could see that. All right, okay. I got another question for you guys about this finals. Who is the better duo, Luca and Kyrie, or Jason Brown, or Jalen Brown and Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum? All right, who's the better duo between the two power players there
uh,
on each team? I personally am rocking more with Luca and Kyrie, but what
Luca
do you
and
guys think?
Kyrie is a better duo by skill, just because Luca is so good. But I feel like Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown really like bring the best out of each other, and they're
They're more
very
like compatible or something, is what you're saying?
yeah yeah
Okay, yeah. I can see
complement.
that, but I don't know, man. When Kyrie gets going, like when Kyrie is like, getting going, I mean, they're unbelievable because Kyrie adds such a good touch to that team and the leadership. Aiden, what do you think?
I
Or
think
okay,
there's
we'll go to
I think
Alex.
there's definitely a good relationship between Kyrie and Luca because you know I think Kyrie has been playing with really good teammates in the past, like LeBron James and even the Nets when they had James Harden and Kevin Durant. So why did James Harden and Kevin Durant not work out? Maybe they weren't really as good with Kyrie Irving. So I guess it really compared to that, it really comes to show how good Luca I'm not gonna say that. I don't know how to say it.
Doncic,
Donk. Okay, how good Luca is
entrepreneur.
with Kyrie, and so those two together is just really good because if they can work out, but Durant and Harden couldn't work out, then there has to be some chemistry that they're building and they're really showing by
Like
going to the
really
finals.
good point. I didn't think about that. Alex, what are
And
you gonna
also,
say?
the thing with Kyrie is dating back to the when he played with the Nets, he left in kind of dramatic fashion, left the Celtics. A little bit questionable there, and the Celtics fans really hate him, and Kyrie really hates Celtics and their fans too. So that's going to be more of a personal factor that's really going to get Kyrie going and motivated
And also,
every single game, whether it's at Dallas or at Boston.
yeah, and with the whole team too, there's less controversy with him in the Mavericks than he was in the Celtics and Nets. I think it's a lot better chemistry.
Yeah,
I mean, I just gotta say something. I'm kind of proud of Kyrie here because he's been with so many duos and so many great players, and it worked out with LeBron, but then, kind of they go their separate ways with the media, and then the Nets don't work out. The Celtics fans hate him. That doesn't work out. They're all booing him. They're all trashing him. And he's come in here and he's gotten with Luca, and it really feels like they have a good bond. And as Alex just said, I'm so curious to see in this series. Like I'm genuinely this is one of the NBA finals where I'm genuinely excited to watch. Like last year it was like, well, you know, I mean it's the NBA finals, but like this one I'm like genuinely intrigued. And just as Alex said, I mean that's such a big aspect is Kyrie going back to Boston. Aiden, what do you think?
I was going to touch on my top three dunkers. I think it's Giannis, then Anthony Edwards, and then John Morant. That's what I have to say.
Giannis,
oh,
that's right. Giannis is respectable top three.
yeah.
Zion when he's fully healthy and like he's doing like the spinorama dunks and stuff, that's dangerously close to top three, in
And I
my
also
opinion.
want to say my favorite finals to watch was the back and forth between the Warriors and Celtics. And not the Warriors and Celtics, the Warriors and Cavaliers.
Yeah, 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 yeah. The Warriors and Cavaliers in Game 7. That was kind of like the peak NBA game right there.
Yeah,
That was
Warriors.
epic. That was so
It's
epic.
I don't know. You don't play NBA 2K, but also back then the NBA 2K 16 and 17 is where it was at. Right,
You know,
Alex?
yeah, the other thing too is it's like I think the interesting part is I remember everybody, at least me personally, I was like so angry about like, oh, it's always the Cavaliers and the Warriors. It's always them back and forth, back and forth. But like now that it's gone, like I kind of miss it. Do you guys ever have that kind of like and this is kind of a wild thing to say, but even with like the Patriots in terms of like I used to just hate the dynasty. I used to absolutely hate Brady, but now that like it's gone, I kind of I kind of wish that like Brady was still playing, even though like I hated him so much. Maybe we'll feel that way about Mahomes, but I don't like the Chiefs right now. So I guess that's like a thing for me. But I don't know. Like I used to not like that, but I mean I really respect like your opinion on that one because it was greatness. I just don't think people fully realize that in the moment. So
No, no.
that's kind of interesting. I do not miss the Penguins dynasty though. I will say that I do not miss that.
Yeah, well, obviously, I'm a little kid and I have some favorite teams and whatever, but looking back on it, there's not a lot of times where there's two teams going back and forth every year in a finals game or finals series.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
looking back on it, you can see how great it was, but in the moment, you may not really know how great it is and stuff like that. And the Patriots too, like I hated Tom Brady, and now looking at it, I actually, I appreciate it and I appreciate what he did. He's one of the greatest. He is the greatest quarterback of all time. And Messi and Ronaldo. I know, like we don't take those things in consideration, but we should appreciate that there's a goat currently active, and when he's retired, that we're going to talk to our kids about the greatest soccer player of all time.
That's
Yeah,
definitely true.
that's what I'm thinking too. I mean, the dynasty is so strong, and the Tom Brady aspect, I didn't like that dynasty. I really didn't like it, and but like now, when I have kids, I'm gonna be able to tell them that I watched the goat play. Same thing, like I don't know if it's just like this new generation, but I feel like all the goats are we're able to watch, other than probably MLB, which Shohei Ohtani may want to
Or
be awesome.
or hockey with Gretzky.
Gretzky, yeah. But I
Yeah.
mean, we're watching Messi play, Ronaldo play, Brady play, Pat Mahomes play, Nick Saban. What's it called? LeBron. I mean, we're really able to
Mhm.
watch these
Mhm.
greats play, and we're going to be able to tell our grandkids and children that we really watched these people play, and we weren't able to really enjoy it. But now, it just kind of gets me hyped with the nostalgia surrounding it, and just the overall like feeling you get.
Yeah.
But but as far as the back to the thing where we were, the Cavaliers and the Warriors. I mean, I personally really liked this series every single time it was going on because I really wasn't. We weren't really NBA fans. I mean, we were like six, so we would only watch the NBA Finals on our like, little TV in our bedroom. And I was a big LeBron fan, and Aiden was a big Curry fan, and Austin the Rapper was also a big Curry fan. So I was kind of like a once a year or once a week, year for a week. It was just straight up Cavaliers versus Warriors, just fighting, like screaming, like constant like rivalries going around the house on the dinner table, and to get that time back again, I don't know what I would give, but I would give a lot, and
Yeah.
it was lit.
I mean, that's actually something that I'm going to put in one of these podcast things. I don't know if we've even asked this question. I don't want to get into it right now because we could go on and on and I have to go soon. But I think a good question that I've seen people ask is which era was better, the era that like our parents had or the era that we're currently in? Because as Alex was just saying, as they go, but Alex was just saying we've seen a ton of goats, all play in this era of sports. So it's pretty special. All right, I'm gonna move on here. We'll see where they are and if they come back. Probably pretty soon though. All right, we're gonna move on to the Stanley Cup. It's the Oilers and the Panthers this year, so should be an interesting one. The Panthers able to kind of gut it out against the Rangers, kind of surprised me, but props to them. And the Oilers also props to them, able to win against the Stars. So it sets up a pretty interesting Stanley Cup Finals. I would have liked to probably see the Rangers and the Oilers because the Madison Square Garden for a final, man, would be epic. But the Panthers, we respect them. All right. So what does each team need to do to win the Stanley Cup? We'll just make this quick. I think for the Oilers, it's all about Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid is the star. Everything's going to run through him. And for the Panthers, it's also all about now stopping Connor McDavid. I think this whole series is determined on 97 in Edmonton, and that's my opinion. And then my last question here. Are the Oilers close to creating a dynasty with McDavid if they win the Stanley Cup this year? What do you guys think? Do you think it could be a full dynasty and McDavid could start, getting discussions about, being not only the elite player, but the premium player, kind of like the Mahomes of the NHL? Because right now he's kind of on the level of like Matthews and Ovechkin and Crosby, but I feel like if he wins, in my opinion, I think he could actually raise himself and become the standard of the league. So what do you guys think?
Who is, with all that, who do you believe is the one face of NHL? Because I think that's Connor McDavid, even though he hasn't had the success, it already is. So I feel
Yeah,
like
but
he already is that, and I feel like he just missed it.
that's tough though because I'm talking about like undisputed face. Like I feel like we can pretty confidently now say that Mahomes is like the face of the NFL, right? Like, maybe you could have said, "Oh, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, what." But I think now we can pretty comfortably say, "Okay, it's Mahomes. Like he's the standard." Right now, I feel like you could
Yeah, I
make an
agree.
argument for Austin Matthews. I agree with you. I think McDavid is the face, but you could probably make an argument for Austin Matthews or even Ovechkin if they made it deeper in the playoffs. Because, I mean, Ovechkin's still playing, and Ovechkin, he's chasing Crosby for that goal record. So all of that stuff will get thrusted back up once if he can pass that, then he'll start to become kind of like the face. I think Crosby's kind of his time's over, but I don't know. You can make an
And I'd say
argument. That's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
Vincent and Crosby also. They're not the bet goat, but they are by it next. But
I
yeah,
res-
but
I respect them. Yeah.
yeah, Connor McDavid. I mean, he's a really good guy, player, and kind of teammate, and he's so relatively young. He's under 30, and he has a lot of potential to really rise up, kind of like where Vincent had their time, Crosby had their time. But then it's just going to be a matter of fact until he passes the torch to potentially Connor Bedard. That's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking. And
Oh,
I feel
Connor
like
Bedard, I hope not.
yeah,
Jeez.
I feel like the
Yeah.
Oilers. I feel like the Oilers, what they need to do is get Carmen David going. He's kind of on the lower end in the playoffs usually, and their goaltending has a little bit of a problem. And I feel like they're able to fix that. Then they're good. Panthers give it to, is it Brady or Matthew? Do they have Brady or Matthew?
I'm pretty sure it's Brady.
Yeah, Brady to Chuck
Kachuk. I can't
Chow.
pronounce that. You guys know who we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
If you watch hockey, everyone knows.
Yeah, to Brady to Chuck, and if you're able to get him going and some assists surrounding him, it'd be good. And me and Aiden, we went to a Predators game this year and went to a Panthers game. We thought Tennessee we didn't know Panthers were going to win. Were that good? We just that.
Yeah, I guess it's all about how it is in the future. If you win now, that's great, but how much can you win later on? How much can you? How much can the team? How much can you? How much can the team rely on you in the future as the team keeps building? How much can Connor McDavid do? And that's all a
Yeah,
waiting game to wait and see. Sidney Crosby, he was a good player. Did he win? He won a lot, but are people considering him the GOAT? No. Maybe
not
Patrick
anymore.
Kane. Maybe Patrick Kane. I don't. He was also, Chicago Blackhawks. They were good. No, didn't do it. So Connor McDavid, he's good now, but how will he do good in the future? We'll have to find
Okay,
out.
one really quick thing because then I have to go pretty soon. So I want to move on, but I just want to say, like, Aiden's right, like with McDavid. I think the problem with the Oilers, from what I've understood, is it's always been that McDavid's always been good. It's never about him not showing up. That's never been the problem. The problem's always been the team choking, the team not being built correctly, the coach being poor. So, like, I don't think it's only a
We lost.
McDavid, and it should
All
only
right,
be on him.
so
That's just what I
we
think.
lost.
All right. we had a little connection thing or whatever. But let's resume. Let's go to college football 25. Let's reveal our top 7 here on the podcast. Who wants to go first?
All right. So, like I said, I have my teams. They're not. They're in order. So I'm just gonna randomly say them out in a random list, and y'all guys eliminate or make sure I get them right. MTSU, Tennessee, Vanderbilt, ECU, James Madison, Western Kentucky, University of South Florida, to Vanderbilt, Tulane. I don't know. James East Carolina. Is that? I think that's the 18th.
Yeah, that's the
And
8.
I'm going to be eliminating East Carolina University. I mean, I really like the Pirates, really like the purple and yellow. However, wasn't a strong enough reason for me to keep them in.
All right, I'll go next. UMass, Syracuse, Vanderbilt, Nebraska, Old Dominion, Virginia, New Mexico, and Washington State. I'm going to eliminate Old Dominion. They're just not quite big enough, and I kind of have some questions about them in terms of the rebuilding process and how entertaining that would really be. So, adios, Old Dominion, but do respect you. Please continue to beat Virginia Tech. Aiden,
All
you can
right,
go.
here goes mine. So the teams that I have left is Sam Houston, a creative team, Kent State, Western Kentucky, Kent State, Coastal Carolina, Hawaii, MTSU, and Vanderbilt. Is that all? Was that
Yep.
8?
Yeah.
Yep.
I eliminate one. I see.
And I've already eliminated
Eliminate.
Penn State and Indiana. And the next to be eliminated at number 8, Coastal Carolina.
Oh,
Ooh.
I love the uniform and the colors and everything, but they're not going to be the program that we will be taking all the way to the Natty in college football 25.
they were in my honorable mentions because they were really good a couple years ago, and their turf.
Yeah. Ooh, will the turf be in the game? It probably will be. Oh, that's interesting. Dang, I should have added them. All right, let's move on to predictions now to end the podcast. We're going to start off here with, wait, hold on. We're going to start off here with Mavericks and the Celtics in game number 1. Who do you guys have?
I have the Celtics.
I have the Mavericks. Can I say something real quick? There's just breaking news here. The 4 seed Evansville Purple Aces just beat East Carolina University. I said last week that Evansville is a 4 team to look out for, and now they just are a Cinderella and won their regional.
Ooh. Ooh, shout out to that one school. What's it, Birmingham Southern or whatever? Like, did you see that? Like,
Yeah.
discontinued. Shout out to them. All right, so I have the Mavericks in game 1. Mavericks and Celtics in game number 2. Who do you guys have?
I have the Celtics again
Mavericks are taking a 2-0 lead. Aiden, I would like to wager.
on game
Ooh.
2 only.
I got the Celtics. I got the Celtics in game 2. I see it heading even back to Dallas.
No, I want to wager, Aiden, on the first 2 games. So we both have to be right. Like, we both have to be right on the
Ooh, I
first
don't
2
think
games.
we've ever done this before.
And that's 4 points. Me and Aiden.
Okay.
Go ahead. I don't know
I
how
believe we only have like 2 or so weeks, so we do not have much longer. Is that
That's
okay,
true.
Aiden? So the first 2 right, it's 4 points each.
So I just say like
Yeah.
2. Oh, 4 point. Yeah, like 2. Just put like 2 and 2 on a game. Okay, I don't care. All right, Oilers and the Panthers. Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Who do you guys have?
I have the Panthers.
Panthers.
I got the Panthers in game 1. Oilers and the Panthers in game 2. Who do you have?
I have the Oilers.
I have Oilers.
All right, I also have the Oilers as well. All right, let's move on to MLS now. New York Red Bulls and New England Revolution. Who do you guys have in this one? I have the Red Bulls.
I have the Red Bulls.
I got Red Bulls.
Seattle Sounders against Sporting Kansas City. I got Seattle Sounders. Sporting Kansas City is a disaster right now. Probably the next coach to be fired.
I hear that sound. Seattle Sounders.
I have the Seattle Sounders.
Okay.
Okay.
It's not the Nashville Sounds.
FC Dallas against Minnesota United. I'm gonna go with Minnesota United.
I'm gonna go with Minnesota United.
FC United.
Okay, St. Louis City SC against the Portland Timbers. I'm gonna go. This is a tough one, 50-50. I'm gonna get the Timbers. I'm gonna go with them at home to get the win. Very close though.
I'm gonna go with the Portland Timbers.
Shiver me timbers. I'm going with Portland Timbers.
All right, final question. If you somehow get this right, because it's kind of tough to predict, you get 3 points. Who wins the French Open? I'm gonna go with Novak Djokovic.
Janite Signer.
I'm gonna go with Carlos Alcaraz.
Oh, dang!
Aiden, you can't always pick the first three.
Carlitos! Carlitos! I respect it. And
The
Yannick
WWE
Sinner.
The
I all thought
WWE legend.
all of you guys were gonna pick Djokovic. So now this is very interesting because one of them's gonna win. Probably.
The
That'd be
top three
insane.
favorites.
I predicted
top
the
three
what's it
favorite.
called? The Masters. I got that one right.
Because you always pick the first
If
favorite.
you
and
always
that's
pick the
boring.
favorite, but trust me, Carlos Alcaraz. Actually, I don't want to say anything. You know what? Just never mind. All right, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you later. Go Doors.
Thank you guys.
Vanderbilt Athletics
We
is in
appreciate
shambles.
it.
I'm tired
Make
of
sure
being
you
a
like and
Vandy fan.
subscribe. And check out our link tree down below. Predictions are uploaded.
Sorry for the late podcast last week.
If any questions, comments, concerns, please DM us on Instagram. Anyway, I'm Alex.
Chili's. 5588 gmail.com.
Aiden.
I'm Benjamin.
Adios. And go
Doors.
Balls.